Hi friends, in Planet Earth Dating, it's Thursday, September 17th, 2020. In both the Lynn life and the Jamie body mind, the authorized souls remain only child souls from the deeper, denser dimensions, and all other souls from all other dimensions, as long as those souls are already living by the many Search for Truth rules already given to the Search for Truth community by wiser minds above all of us. And it's really important for all of us host lives, us too, you too, to remember that host lives do not have legal standing under divine law, that when the souls and bodies disconnected, the legal standing went with the souls, and we can follow the reasoning having to do with how karma is delivered.
Exactly.
And we don't have to like it for it to still be true. So it's important for us to not get snippy. There's no legal standing any more than a tree has legal standing. Now the microphone just shifted and somebody's leaning forward and they're talking about the dreamer who was being observed here in the most recent overnight, and how the dreamer was attempting to work with what we believe are either guardian angels for planet Earth, or our personal money is on their supervising angels, the angels. And the dreamer was another level up from them, attempting to engage and get them to do what they were supposed to do, and was extremely disappointed to notice that it was predominantly female presences of that dimension who stood a chance of doing anything even remotely like what they were supposed to be doing.
Oh, that's right.
And this was in another dimension. And the dreamer was very disappointed to notice that, and then was also focusing on a particular psychotherapist.
That's what they're talking about
and
upstairs.
A really special person who actually exists in Ground Zero Planet Earth, a female psychotherapist, very special person. And she was being used as a representation of a presence several dimensions up. And they were talking about how psychotherapy has become the modern day confessional. It's the modern day priesthood.
That's right.
Somehow actual religion seems to have fallen out of vogue, and what's replaced it is a religion light, L-I-T-E,
That's right.
where there's just pretense and there's nothing substantive. And then the few religions that retain confession are kind of like castigated, and they call it Catholic guilt, like it's a bad thing. Well, listen, and now the microphone just shifted. Listen, friends, if you're destroying all life on Earth, don't you think a little bit of guilt is appropriate?
I do.
I do. I also do. So bizarrely, now the microphone switched back again. Bizarrely, what's happened is that the psychotherapy halls have become the confessionals, and what's going awry is that the psychotherapists this is their career, and they want their client to keep coming back, obviously, and so they're not really holding people accountable. People are confessing with various degrees of accuracy.
That's true.
What they've done that they aren't proud of. And the psychotherapists are not holding them accountable and not saying, listen, you need to step it up and you need to clean up your mess. And it's for lots of different reasons, including poor definitions, sloppy thinking about what is loving and what is helpful. And we really need to keep in mind the frame of reference that humanity actually is destroying all life on Earth, and we're completely unsustainable as a collective, and we've absolutely got to turn around a hard 180 degrees. We've got to stop consuming, stop polluting, and like right now. And if you're arguing with it, then you're ignorant because you have obviously not read the scientific data that's readily available and is scientific consensus, mainstream scientific consensus. And so just save it. And we're going to delete your nasty comments so you can also save yourself that time. And then we'll ban you from the channel. And so you can save yourself a lot of time by just not being revolting. And we would like to ask Gabriel, where is the bad karma going? Because Gabriel's fat boy and Gabriel's fat boy pimply adolescent followers are racking up a lot of bad karma. And now, where is that bad karma going? Now the stage sweeps back and we're back to the person who's talking about psychotherapy.
I see that guy.
And there seems to be a lack of consensus as to whether or not there's any hope possible. And we just want to make it clear, the microphone just switched again, that these host lives do not think that this is going to have any impact.
Absolutely not.
But it is the assignment, and we could be wrong. What if we're
That's
wrong?
true.
So this is a call to action to all psychotherapists. And if you, a viewer, are participating in therapy, then good for you. But to call your psychotherapist into her greatness or his greatness and say, look, you're supposed to be holding me accountable for my mistakes. And just as in Catholicism, where the priest gives things that you're supposed to do to make it right with God, and the things that they're giving are, we think, stupid. But we don't think 100 Hail Marys is going to do it,
No.
right? We're, as a collective, destroying all life on Earth. Really take that in, and that God sees it, and God is not happy. This is God's planet, not humanity's planet to destroy. Now, it's true that humanity is destroying it using tools sent in by the spirit world, but it's still humanity's hands who are destroying it. Humanity's actions are destroying it. And so, first things first, everybody get your own carbon footprint neutral. And if you just try to install at least 10 kilowatts of solar, or there's community solar available if you live in a way that's impossible for you. Then there's community solar available. And to participate and to try to produce enough solar to cover yourself and your next door neighbor. And that way you'll probably produce your imported footprints worth of solar.
Oh, that's true.
So we are producing twice what this farm needs with all the solar we've installed. And we hope that's covering our carbon footprint.
That's true.
And we also don't consume, we don't buy things. We buy food, but we're buying less and less of it. And we eat vegan other than the eggs that our own chickens produce. And our banana trees are coming on, meaning that the chickens will be eating less and less store-bought food and more organically raised food right here. So we're attempting to become carbon neutral in a really real sense. And the only way to do that is to attempt to cover enough carbon for ourselves and our next door neighbors, because otherwise our frame of reference is wrong.
That's right.
So back we come to psychotherapy and how important it is to remember that the definition of love that the guardian angels use is that love is calling the beloved into his or her soul plan, into his or her greatness, is how it's sometimes worded. Calling the beloved into his or her greatness. And that's what's truly loving, and everything else is something other than loving. It's something else. It could be enabling, it could be codependence, it could be control, it could be a lot of different things. It's often personal gratification, trying to get the other person to make me feel complete. It's like, that's not loving, and surely we can all hear that, right? And so the psychotherapists have an important role because bizarrely they've been given the role of the priest in today's society,
That's true.
and therefore they need to step it up. For whom is the message? Why do you ask? And again, we see that dreamer who is just really so sad about how it isn't coming together. What now? What now to put planet Earth back the way the spirit world found it? Right now we're rushing to finish this filming before the next band of Hurricane Sally moves through here.
That's right.
And Hurricane Sally passed us to the south and leaped around and is now passing us to the north. And that's not supposed to happen.
No.
We're seeing atmospheric breakdown, and we're really seeing it, and it's from climate change. And this is happening right now, and bizarrely, there's no mainstream acknowledgement, really.
No, that's true.
And somebody's asking why that is, and somebody else is saying, well, it has to do with control of the media. The very small number of people actually are controlling the media, and they support fossil fuels because they have investments in fossil fuels, and they're just messing with you.
That's
And
true.
they're just seeing if anybody is smart enough to notice, and for the most part, you guys are all failing. And whoever that is, it was a divine presence who said that, and they're talking to humanity, and they don't feel happy about humanity.
No, that's true.
What has worked in other black holes of corruption to find which way is up? We really think it's helpful to include that in the frame of reference. That there was a test of 500,000 hotshot souls, and none of them were able to find which way was up. They all thought they could find it, and they all pointed in a direction, but none of them were correct.
That's right.
And that seems statistically impossible, but it was still the case. Which means that the templates they're using to determine which way is up, the templates themselves are wrong.
That's true.
That's what that would suggest.
Yeah.
And the really disappointing part is that we don't find that those 500,000 souls have reported their failure personally, and
That's true.
kind of hints at low integrity. Somebody says it doesn't hint at it, it strongly suggests, and some might say proves low integrity. And if those are the 500,000 best by some definitions, then this is very troubling.
That's
And
true.
now here's the kicker. Now, who is reporting this up? But wait, which way is up?